Excellent. Welcome. As you find your way to a comfortable seat, see if you can find your sits bones, those two little bones at the bottom of the pelvis. See if you can feel those underneath you. If you need to move any flesh out of the way to access those, go ahead and do that. And then see if you can just allow the legs to find the ground and feel heavy there. If they don't come all the way to the mat, place some blocks or books or towels or anything underneath the knees so you're supported there. And then just take a few breaths here and notice what happens as you inhale, how the crown lifts, the body expands. See if you can keep that lift of the crown, and then as you exhale, relax the lower body to feel connected to the earth. And just take 2 more breaths like that. As you inhale, noticing the expansion, the crown lifting. As you exhale, keep that lift of the crown, and then allow the lower body to just feel connection to the mat. 1 more breath like that. And then we'll bring the fingertips onto the mat on either side. If they don't come all the way to the mat, you can place something underneath them, books, anything, so that you can just anchor the fingertips down. And then we're going to anchor the left side, inhale the right side up, take a nice big breath, get full of fresh air and length, and then exhale over to the left. We'll take a few breaths here, just allowing that right side body to open, anchoring down the opposite hip. 1 more breath. And then inhale your way back up, anchor the right hand down. So just the fingertips are touching the mat, and then lean over to the other side. So you might get a sense that you're actually pushing the floor away and drawing over to the right. Take another breath here. And then we're going to make a little flow. So you're just going to exhale to one side, lean in. Inhale as you come up to the middle, exhale over to the other side. Inhale and exhale. And you can move at your own pace. We're going to take a few more each side, so just let yourself start to have a little dance, a little openness here. Find a little rhythm. 1 more each side. And then we'll come up to the center. Inhale, both arms up, taking a twist. Turn into the right. Bringing the left hand to the right thigh. Again, nice and tall with the breath. Feel the lift of the crown. And then as you exhale, coming into a twist, using that hand on top of the thigh to press yourself in a little deeper into the twist. And then inhale, hands up, nice and tall. Exhale, other side. So bring the right hand onto the left thigh, using that pressure of the hand against the thigh to take yourself a little deeper into the twist. And then inhale, hands up. And we do the same thing. Exhale, look to the right, twist, let the breath out. Inhale, forward. Exhale, other side. Twist and let it out. Inhale, forward. So with your own breath. See if you can find 1 more each side. And then back to center, fingertips up. Wiggle those fingertips out. We're going to bring the fingers on top of the shoulders and just make some big circles here with the elbows. And then as the elbows come to the rib cage, pause. Take the circle the opposite direction. Got some clicking and clacking in there this morning. See if you can take 1 more. Beautiful. Release the technique. We're going to come over into tabletop. So you can come off the block, onto the knees, onto the hands. Bring the wrists right under the shoulders, knees a little wider than hips. And we're just going to take a little movement here. Anything that feels good. So you could start with circling the hips. You could sway the body side to side. Just see if you can get in touch with whatever feels good right this moment in the body. If you're going in circles, make sure you take it both directions. And then find your way back to your neutral tabletop. Now we're going to take our cat and cow, but we're going to, as if it's initiating, the movement's initiating from the tailbone. So go ahead and untuck the toes. Take a full breath in. As you exhale, you're going to come into cat, rounding the back, but as if it's the wave is coming up from the tailbone, rounding the back, pressing into the organs. And on the inhale, looking forward, and letting that movement come from the tailbone and roll all the way up towards the crown. Same thing. So from cow, tucking the tailbone, coming into cat, letting the spine move like a wave. And then coming into cow, initiating that movement from the tailbone, letting it roll all the way up the spine and looking forward. So you're going from your cat, rounding the back, pressing into the organs, releasing the crown of the head towards the mat, into cow, arching the back, looking forward, retracting the shoulder blades together in the back. So we're going to take a few more rounds and just think about that movement rolling up the spine like a wave, coming from the tailbone, all the way up to the crown of the head. See if you can find a few more like this. So really focusing on that wave coming up the spine. Go ahead and let this be your last round. And then releasing one more time into cat, rounding the back, and then pressing back into child's pose. Allow the belly to come onto the thighs. You can bend the arms at the elbows, bring the hands in prayer, and place the hands on the back of the head. Or you can have the hands lengthened, long arm bones in front of you. We're going to take 5 more breaths here. So as you're here, allow the belly to fill with air. Feel that connection between the belly and the thighs. And then see if you can allow the tailbone to relax even down more towards the heels. And just allow that lengthening. If you've bent the elbows to have the hands behind the heads, go ahead and release the hands, arm bones alongside the head. Take another full breath in, full breath out. And then go ahead and roll yourself forward back into your tabletop. Tuck the toes. Take any juicy movement. So just another moment here for you to take whatever movement feels nice in your body. Hip circles, swaying. And then find your way to symmetry. Do both sides evenly. And we'll meet back in tabletop. Here in tabletop, we're going to tuck the toes, brighten the fingers so they're like rays of the sun. Press into the first finger and the thumb to lift the knees, bring the arm bones alongside the ears. Take a full breath in, and as you exhale, lengthen one leg, starting to find our way into downward dog. Bend both knees, find puppy, lengthen the other leg long. And then just go ahead and walk your dog out however it feels nice. And then we're going to start to find steadiness with the feet for a moment. And just allow yourself a full breath here in your downward dog, full breath out. And then we're going to walk the hands towards the feet. Make our way to a forward fold. You can clasp on the opposite elbows and just let yourself hang here for a moment. Allow that spine to lengthen. Keep the knees soft. And then relax the hands. If you've reached for opposite elbows, we're going to roll our way back up to standing. Lower back, middle back, upper back. Let the arms float up overhead. Get nice and tall. And then clasp one wrist and draw yourself over to the other side. Full breath in. Full breath out. And bring yourself back to center. Grab a hold of the opposite wrist. Other side. Full breath in. Full breath out. Beautiful. And then back to center. You can bring the fingertips together. So there's a little openness between the palms. And then press the thumbs into the sternum. Just connect here for one breath to your heart. Now we're going to take a few rounds of ocean spine, the first part of Surya Namaskar A, Sun Salutation A. And we're going to allow that initiation of the movement again to come from the tailbone. So I'll guide you through it. You're going to find your way to Tadasana. Palms shining forward. Allow there to be a little space between the armpits. Allow your knees to be soft. Relax the tailbone down. And then on an inhale, let the hands float up overhead. Look up at the hands. They were in a little bit of a back bend here. So we're going to think of a wave just washing over us, coming from the tailbone, starting to dive forward. Still looking at the hands. Rolling up the back until we find ourselves in that forward fold. Take a full breath in and then soften the knees one more time. Relax into the forward fold. On the next inhale, as if you're moving, the movement starts at the tailbone, rolling up the middle back, upper back, head and neck come last until you find yourself standing. Let the hands float up one more time. And then hands back to heart center. Pause there. Full breath in. Full breath out. We're going to take 2 more rounds of that so you can move with your own breath. And just think of that spine moving like a wave. Inhaling, hands come up. And really keeping the heart open as you dive forward. So as if the wave was washing the lower back all the way up to the head. Forward fold, you can take an extra breath there and then make sure you soften the knees, bend the knees slightly as you roll back up. Letting the hands float up overhead. Pausing at the heart, press the thumbs into the sternum. Tadasana. Take a full breath in Tadasana, feel your feet below you. And then one more time, inhale the arms up. Look up at the hands. So you're diving into the ocean. Relax in your forward fold. Take an extra breath there. Lengthen the spine. And then float back up to standing. Let the hands float up overhead one more time. And then bring the hands to heart center. Press the thumbs into the sternum. Full breath in. Full breath out. And we're going to take just a little balancing here. So you can bring your feet together. I like to have the toes together, heels apart. And we'll bring the hands to the hips and just anchor those hips down for a moment. And then see if you can bring all the weight onto the right foot and let the left foot just float up. From here, we're going to just extend the leg, keep the foot lifted, and see if we can count to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the knee with control. Set that foot back down. Shake the legs out. Other side, bring all the weight onto the left foot. Let the right foot float up. Extend the leg long. Might just be here, that's fine. See if you can count for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the knee, sit the foot back on the mat, shake out the legs. We'll work our way down onto the mat. So find your way to the top of the mat. We'll take a sun salutation, low floating it down there. So find Tadasana, soften the knees. Open those shoulders up so your heart shines forward. Take a full breath in, full breath out. On your next inhale, let the hands float up overhead. And once again, diving in. So just dive into that forward fold. On an inhale, bring the fingertips to the shins, extend through the crown. And then bend the knees, hands to the mat, sit back into plank. Take an extra breath in plank. And then lower the knees down. Roll the chest and chin between the hands forward. Find your cobra. Exhale, back down, tuck the toes, tabletop. Take juicy movement here in tabletop. Make sure you take it evenly on both sides. And then find your way to your neutral tabletop. Press into the fingertips, the knuckles between the fingers, tucking the toes, lift the knees, you're back in your puppy pose. And then extend the legs, see if you can find your way to downward dog. You can walk your dog out, take any movement you need to. And then on this next breath in downward dog, see if you can find a moment of stillness. On an inhale, we're going to float that right leg up. Exhale, bring the right knee to the right elbow. Inhale, extend the right leg back. Exhale, bring the right knee to the left elbow. Inhale, extend the leg back. Draw the right knee towards the nose. Take a full breath in. And then place the right foot between the hands. Left knee on the mat, low lunge. Allow the hips to open here with the fingertips on the mat. Back foot can be tucked or untucked. Allow those hips to come forward and down. And then we're going to press into the feet. See if we can rise up. Lifting the arms up overhead. Really active in the feet here. And then see if you can let the pelvis come a little bit forward and down. Take a full breath in. And then we're going to turn towards the right, towards the side where the bent knee is, and open the arms up. Coming into a twist. And then inhale into our low lunge, arms up. Exhale, turn to the right. So you can move your arms, whatever feels natural here, as you take this little pulse, moving to the right, twist, looking forward. Go ahead and see if you can find 2 more rounds. Last one, we're going to stay here for 5 breaths. Open twist, turning towards the right. If you want to take it spicier, press in the back foot, lift the back knee. 2 more breaths. If you've lifted the back knee, lower it down. Go ahead and turn forward. Find your low lunge, extend the front leg long, and then bring the heart towards the kneecap, runner's lunge, half splits. Extending the crown of the head towards the direction of the foot, heart towards the knee. 3 more breaths here. And then we're going to start to walk the hands forward, frame the foot, lift the back knee, and find your way back into downward dog. Go ahead and walk your dog. And then find some stillness in dog just for a moment. All right. On the next inhale, we're going to let that left leg float up. Exhale the left knee to kiss the left elbow. Inhale, extend the left leg back. Bring the left knee to kiss the right elbow. Inhale, extend. Bring the knee to touch the nose. Take another breath there. And then we're going to place the left foot down on the mat. Right knee down on the mat. Allow the hips to open up here with the fingertips on the mat. Just look forward, allow that opening, especially on the right side. And then when you feel ready, press into the feet. Draw the hands up. Low lunge. Open up in those hips. On your next exhale, you're going to turn towards the left. Open up the arms. Find your twist. And then come back into your low lunge. Exhale, open into a twist. So again, you can just let the arms move however they want to get there. So if you're going through the top or coming around the bottom, doesn't really matter. Whatever feels good. One more. And this time we're going to hold for 5 breaths. One more. Open up. And then back to look forward, hands overhead. Extend the front leg long, lengthen the toes towards the ceiling. And then we're going to bring ourselves forward. Heart coming towards the kneecap. Crown of the head moving towards the direction of the foot. 5 breaths here. Last breath. As you exhale, walk the hands forward, bend the front knee. Once again, lift that back knee, step back into your downward dog. And take any juicy movement here. And we're going to take a little vinyasa flow. So see if you can find some symmetry and stillness in your downward dog. Inhale yourself forward to plank. Exhale the knees down to the mat. Bring the chest and chin between the hands. Roll forward into cobra. Exhale back. And then find your way back to the tabletop. Take any juicy movement here at tabletop. And then we're going to come into a side plank here. So I'm going to turn so you can see me facing forward. So I'm going to take the right leg out. It's going to be about perpendicular to the rest of the body. And then come to my right side, facing the mat, left leg, extending long. Once you're here, inhale the left hand up. And we're going to exhale, bring the hand underneath the armpit, coming into a little twist here. Again, we're going to flow through this. So inhale up. Exhale, reach that hand underneath the armpit. And then inhale up. So you can work with your own breath. Just floating that left hand underneath the opposite armpit. Coming to a little bit of twist on the exhale. And then inhaling up. See if you can find 3 more rounds. Just moving really gently. Last one. And then open back up. We're going to see if we can lift and extend that top leg. Go ahead and see if you can find 3 more breaths here. Beautiful. Bring the top leg down. Bring the hand down, coming back into your tabletop. Take your movement that feels good. Anything to juice up the joints. Hip circles, swaying. Make sure you get both directions equally. And then make your way back into neutral. This time I'm going to take the left leg out, 90 degrees. The lower leg is 90 degrees from the body, and the left side body is coming towards the mat. Right leg extends, right arm extends. Get comfortable here. Look down, make sure that you're not coming forward in an angle, but that you're actually in a straight line. And then on an exhale, we're going to bring that right hand underneath the left armpit. Inhale up. And you can work with your own breath here. Five more rounds here, so just stay with it with your own exhale, coming down through the armpit, inhaling, expanding. One more. And then all the way up. We're going to lift that right leg up. And just take a few more breaths here. Beautiful. Set the leg down. Moving back over through tabletop. Take any juicy movement here. So we'll do a little work with the low back now that we're warmed up. So go ahead and cross the feet at the ankles. We're going to roll back onto the back. If you have a block, grab your block. Perfect. Coming into bridge prep here, and just go ahead and bring your knees towards your chest. Rock yourself a little side to side. And then we're going to bring the feet to the mat. We're going to work a little bit in bridge prep here for quite a few moves. So just see that your fingertips can graze the back of the Achilles. Pause here. We'll start with just some breaths and tilting the pelvis. So on your next inhale, let this expansive breath really come all the way down into the belly, and just notice how that affects the pelvis, how that affects the low back, how it affects the curve of the back. And then as you exhale, see if you can draw the belly button towards the spine to exhale the breath. Notice what that does in the low back, what it happens to the pelvis as you exhale, and just press that breath out through the belly. Now buttocks are relaxed here, and we're just going to let this natural inhale of the breath move the pelvis, tilt the pelvis towards the feet. And as you exhale, draw the belly button towards the spine. Take the curve out of the low back. And then natural inhale, pelvis tilts towards the feet. So you'll start to see you're moving through this curve in the lower lumbar. And just breathing through this movement of tilting the pelvis towards the feet on the inhale, and as you exhale, the pelvis tilts towards the face. We'll take a few more rounds here. So just allow yourself to relax into this really small but very profound movement here. See if you can really push all the air out of the body on the exhale. And let yourself take an even deeper breath on the inhale. 2 more rounds. Last round. Really press the breath all the way out of the body. Let yourself have a nice fresh breath on the inhale. Now we're going to start to make that movement a little bit bigger and roll up the back. So you can use your arms a little bit. Bend the elbows. You can press the upper arm bone into the floor as we roll up. And we're going to initiate the beginning of the movement just as we were doing. So take a full breath in. As you exhale, draw the belly button towards the spine towards the mat, and then start pressing into the feet. Lift the pelvis, roll up onto the shoulders. Make sure you're going to look just towards the ceiling, and then make sure you take your full breath there, and then exhale, setting the spine back down on the mat, vertebra by vertebra, releasing the pelvis. So we're going to move through that on the exhale. So go ahead and just take a breath to recover here. Make sure your feet aren't getting away from you. Check your movement. If you want to make it a little bit stronger, a little bit deeper, you can bring a block between your legs, squeeze the block. So we're going to take about 5 rounds of this. You're going to work on your own breath. We're going to move only on the exhale. So go ahead and let all the air out of the body now. Take a full breath in. And then on your next exhale, you're going to initiate that movement. Belly button towards spine, spine towards the mat. Squeeze the block if you have a block between the legs. Press into the feet. Roll up onto the shoulders. Take a full breath in there. And then with control, rolling down the back on the exhale. See if you can set down each part of the back separately. And once you set the pelvis down, take that full breath in. Full breath out. 4 more, moving only on the exhale. On your next exhalation, belly button towards the spine, spine towards the mat, press into the feet, roll up onto the shoulders. Really press into the feet, lift the pelvis on the exhale, rolling back down with control. Setting the pelvis down, taking a full breath to recover. Now you can keep the arms as they are, or you can start to use the arms to draw an arch overhead. So again, moving only on the exhalation, squeeze the block if it's between the legs. If not, that's okay. You're welcome to draw this arch up overhead. Take a breath up here when you're at the shoulders. And then exhale yourself. Coming down with control. See if you can set down each part of the spine. Feel it coming down to the mat. 2 more. So either with your hands at the side, arms bent, using the upper arm, or allowing yourself to draw an arch in the sky. Moving only on the exhale. Take a full breath to recover at the bottom. Check your feet. They might start to feel like they're sliding away. Last one. Once you arrive back to the starting position, if you have a block in, remove the block, hug the knees towards the chest, rock a little side to side. And then here, let's bring our palms to the top of the kneecaps and just take those knees in a big circle. So now you'll feel yourself getting a little massage around the sacroiliac joint. Squeeze the knees into the chest. Take the circle the opposite direction. So we're really getting that flow of fluid through the spinal cord, and that's going to help open up the back. That's going to help move energy through anywhere it might feel stuck in the low back. And then release the circle with the knees. Let the left leg come down to the mat. We're going to squeeze the right knee towards the right armpit and extend the left leg long. And just go ahead and squeeze the knee towards the armpit on the exhale. Left leg is long. 3 more breaths like this. So just each exhale, squeezing the leg in a little bit more, allowing that left leg to find length. One more breath here. And then we're going to bring the hands behind the thigh, squeeze just the thigh, but push the foot as if you're pressing the foot onto the ceiling. So we're going to give ourselves a release deep in the pelvis, squeezing the thigh towards you. So I have the sense I'm pushing the leg up, but I'm actually holding it with my hands. So pressing the foot towards the ceiling, and then drawing the leg back. We're going to stay here for 5 breaths. So it's pretty active. You might feel pretty shaky. So you can stay 2 more breaths. Beautiful. We're going to go ahead and lengthen that right leg all the way up. And then just take the foot in a circle. Draw a circle on the ceiling with the toes. Beautiful. And then squeeze the knee towards the chest one more time. Let both legs lengthen. Take a moment just to notice the difference between the 2 legs. And then we're going to draw the left knee towards us, left knee towards the left armpit. And just taking about 5 breaths here on each exhalation, squeezing it a little bit more. Bringing that left leg in just a little more. See if you can find one more big deep breath here. Inhaling in through the nose and then letting it all out. Release the hold of the leg. Interlace those hands behind the thigh. Now we're going to get the sense that we're pressing the foot up as we draw that thigh towards the body. And staying here for 5 breaths. So super active. One more breath. Good. And then just let the leg extend towards the ceiling, roll out the ankle, draw a circle on the ceiling with the toe. All right. Bring both knees towards the chest, rock a little side to side. And then back into bridge prep. We're going to lift that right leg up, bring the right ankle over the left thigh. I'll show you from this direction. It looks like this. Take a full breath in here, and then we're going to reach through and see if we can bring that left thigh towards us. Interlace the hands around the left thigh. You can see the right foot is super flexed here, so I can protect the right knee. I can also bring my elbow into the right leg, and I'm just going to squeeze that left leg towards me. And just staying here, keep drawing the left leg towards you. Opening that right thigh up. Allow the tailbone to relax, allow the buttocks to relax. We're going to be here 5 more breaths, so keep drawing that left leg towards you. And then we're going to release the hands so that the left foot can come back onto the mat, but we're going to keep the right leg exactly where it is. Bring the arms out to the side of the body, and then we're going to take a twist towards the left so that the right foot, sole of the right foot comes onto the mat. And just pause here. You can take your left hand and open up that right thigh, push it away from you, or you might find it's nice to draw the right thigh towards you. Whichever feels better, just pause there. Head can be looking at the ceiling, or you can open the head to look towards the right. See if you can find 3 more breaths here. And if you're pushing or pulling the leg towards or away from you, go ahead and release that. We're going to just roll back onto the back. Unwind the legs, hug the knees towards the chest. You can rock a little side to side, or you could take that circle. And then we'll take it to the other side. So from your bridge prep, lifting that left knee, opening the left leg out to the left. Left foot comes over the right thigh. Left foot is super flexed. And then go ahead and reach around the right thigh. Draw that right thigh towards you. Maybe you can use the elbow to open up on the left side. And just breathe here. Make sure you have enough space in the low back if you need to rock or give yourself space. Keeping the left foot flexed. Two more breaths here. See if you can draw that right thigh towards you any more deeply. And then we're going to release the hold of the thigh. Keep the left foot exactly where it is. Coming into a twist on the other side now. So just letting this leg stay exactly as they are and rolling to let the left foot come onto the mat. Arms can open up on the side, either side of you. With the right hand, you'll find you can either push the left leg away from you, or you could draw it towards you, whichever feels better. Maybe you don't want to do anything. Maybe you just want to have your arms out. And then you find you can open the neck and head up to look towards the left, or you can look just up towards the ceiling. And see if you can direct your breath to anywhere you feel tension, anywhere where things feel a little sticky or tight. Just imagine you're breathing into that area, directing your breath there. See if you can find 2 more breaths here. And if you've looked the head to the left, go ahead and roll it back to center. If If you're using the right arm on the legs, go ahead and release that and just let the legs roll you back onto the back. Unwind, hug the knees towards the chest, rock a little side to side. So we're going to use the block now. If you don't have, I think everyone has a block. If you have a super hard block, put a towel over it. Or you could fold a blanket like the shape of a block. And we're going to come in to start with a supported bridge. So here we are back in our bridge prep pose, taking our block, lifting the pelvis and placing the block underneath the pelvis. So here you want to make sure you're not on the spine, but that you're actually on that top of the pelvis and supporting the sacrum. So this is supported bridge. You're welcome to stay here in supported bridge. Or you can see what it feels like to lengthen the legs. So either lengthening the legs long or keeping the knees bent. And if your block is really hard, just fold a towel and use the towel. We're going to stay here for about 2 minutes. So allow yourself to just, whichever pose is going to benefit you the most today. So if it's super tight in the inner groin, maybe you want to just stay here. If this feels okay in the low back, then you're fine to lengthen the legs. So it's really whatever pose your body wants. And then just settle in, let yourself feel heavy. You might even feel some unwinding in the belly and the guts. And again, you can think about directing your breath. So direct your breath to anywhere you feel tension. And then just breathe and know that if the legs are extended, you can always bend the knees and come back into that bridge prep, supported bridge. Otherwise, whichever pose you're in, you're just going to stay there and breathe. You can close off the eyes and just notice what's happening in the body with the breath. Notice the expansion of the physical body as you inhale. Perhaps you can release something else on the exhale. Remember, you can change the position if it's too intense. You can direct your breath to wherever there's tension. We're going to be here for about 5 more breaths, so whichever pose is going to benefit you the most. See if you can find 5 more breaths there. And if your legs are extended, you're going to go ahead and bend the knees and come back into your bridge prep. We're going to take a few more breaths here in bridge prep. And then go ahead and press into the feet. Lift the pelvis, remove the block, set the pelvis back on the mat. Go ahead and bring the knees towards the chest, rock a little side to side, find that expansion in the low back. And we're going to take both legs up towards the ceiling. So with your knees bent, make sure you can feel the whole back, the whole lower back on the mat. Taking the curve out of the lower back and then lifting the legs up towards the ceiling. Now we've done a lot to really keep that low back on the mat today, so get that sense that you can draw the belly button down and really be active to press the low back into the mat. Arms can be wherever. You can have them out alongside the body or on the belly. Actively bringing the belly button towards the spine, low back on the mat. Now, you can stay here. This is the first variation. Or you can start to lower the right leg down until you feel the low back want to come off the mat, and then lift that right leg back up. And then draw the left leg down. Keep the low back on the mat. And then when it feels like it wants to pop up, draw the leg back up. We're going to take 3 more each side. Keep the low back on the mat. If this feels too easy, you can bring the leg down and then bring it out away from the body and then back to center. One more each side. Keep that low back glued to the mat. And then back up. And then here we are in a virtual legs up the wall. So taking the feet up towards the ceiling and just pausing here. Keep the low back on the mat. 3 more breaths. And we're going to draw the knees towards the chest. Squeeze the legs in. Rock a little side to side. And we're going to take one more twist here. Just neutralize the spine. So we'll take a double leg twist. You can also use the block. From your bridge press into the feet, lift the pelvis, take the pelvis over to the right, set the pelvis down. Lift the legs, block between the legs, taking the legs over to the left. Again, arms can be out either side. Head can be looking straight up towards the ceiling, or you can start to unwind the head and neck towards the right. And again, allow the breath to be expansive. So when you inhale, feel that expansiveness of the whole physical body. As you exhale, release a little bit deeper into the pose. Just release to gravity. Three more breaths here. Your head can be facing the ceiling, or maybe you open the head up to look towards the right. Now, if you're using block, you can take your left hand down, reach, remove the block, and then just roll onto the back, walk the feet back. Don't try to lift the whole leg. Squeeze the knees into the chest, rock a little side to side. And then same thing, other side, from bridge prep. Press in the feet, lift the pelvis. Pelvis is going to come over to the left. Lift the legs, spacer or block between the legs. Legs are coming over to the right. Arms are out alongside the body, away from the body, 90 degrees. Open up the heart there. Let yourself have a big deep breath. And then remember, your only job is to really work with the inhale. On the exhale, you can just relax. You can let gravity do all the work. And then you can open the head and neck up to look towards the left or the opposite direction of the legs, and just breathe here. Taking just a few more breaths here. Let these last few breaths in this pose be even deeper. Make a little bit more effort on the inhale. Feel a little bit more expansiveness on the inhale, and as you exhale, just release into the pose even more. And then on an inhale, if you've moved the head to look to the left, go ahead and breathe it back to center. Reach down, remove the block, walk yourself back onto the back. One more time, coming into fetal pose on the back, squeeze the legs towards the chest. And as you do this, you might find you can walk the hips away from you. So once again, you're really feeling the whole spine on the mat. We'll start to make our way to Savasana. You can take the legs long on the mat, move the feet so they're as wide as the mat, and then as you tuck the shoulder blades underneath you, the palms shine towards the ceiling rather. And then just take a little opening in the head and neck. Just let the head roll out a little bit side to side. And then you can find your center, close off the eyes, and staying cognizant with the breath. So noticing on the inhale, the effect of the breath on the physical body. As you exhale, how you can just relax a little bit more deeply into the mat, into the support below you. And finding your Savasana here, allowing the mind to stay alert as the body finds full relaxation. So that the mind can notice what full relaxation feels like. The mind can notice what the breath is doing. But the body feels completely relaxed with each exhalation, sinking even more deeply into the support. And start to expand your inhalations here. Noticing even more the effects of the breath on the physical body. And then breathing down through the arms and the legs, into the fingers and the toes. Maybe you want to start giving the fingers a little wiggle, the toes a little wiggle. Even fisting and extending through the fingers and the hands. Waking up the body here, allowing the legs to come towards each other, walking the feet towards each other, letting the arms come up overhead, arm bones alongside the ears, and find that full lengthening, that center line there from your Savasana. And then when you feel ready, roll onto one side. Use your arm to press yourself up and find your way to a comfortable seat. Once you find your comfortable seat, just allow yourself to notice here the effects of the practice on the body. Allow yourself to notice this groundedness and relaxation. And then you can bring the hands together at the heart center, thumbs at the sternum. And just acknowledge your own efforts today, your efforts to show up, to be present, to stay with it. so that you can have the benefits of the whole practice with you for the rest of the day. The light in me honors and acknowledges the light in you. We all share the same light. Namaste. Thank you for allowing me to guide your practice this morning. Thanks for showing up. I hope that gets you through the rest of your day.